Okay, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure, I'm Lacey. I'm the singer of Nocturne.
I'm Rodney, the bass player.
Chris, the guitarist.
You guys sound so enthusiastic.
Okay, so how long has Nocturne been together?
Oh God, forever. Basically, we put our first album out in '99, and we performed locally for a few years prior to that, but we didn't really start getting serious until we put our first album out in '99. It's when we started touring extensively and taking ourselves a little bit more seriously, I guess.
And what prompted you to take it more seriously?
Boredom.
Huh?
Record deal.
Record deal?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, actually, that's true. That's true. We just kind of did the local thing for a while, and then we got offered a record deal from a label that we really liked, just because we listened to a lot of their artists. We're like, oh my God, wow, maybe we should.
Which was who?
Triple X.
Triple X? And that's what you're on now, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they did. They released Jane's Addiction's first album.
Right.
And Shadow Project, who was Roz Williams from Christian Death, and a bunch of other super uber goth bands that we were into way back then in the day.
Okay. And you've done quite a few different tours, right?
We have. We've been touring quite a bit. We just got back from the Pigface tour, and last summer we toured with his other band, Bozo Porno Circus, on the Sexecution tour. And we toured with King Diamond, and I toured with Pigface myself on the first United tour. And we did a bunch of shows with Ministry and with Gin Tortures. We've done some headlining tours, like small, like southeast part of the country tours. Yeah, we've done a lot. We're always gone.
And where are you based out of now?
We're kind of all over the place right now. We based out of Dallas originally, but I moved to LA about 6 months ago. Chris is still in Dallas. Rodney is in New Orleans. So we're all kind of like scattered about right now.
And I realized we didn't get your introductions because of the knock on the door. So who are you and what do you do in the band?
My name is Rodney, I play bass.
Chris and I play guitars.
Okay. How long have you been on this tour so far?
We have been out for about a week and a half.
Week and a half?
Yeah.
Okay, so over the last two tours then, what would you say is one of the strangest things that's happened to you?
Our RV set on fire.
What happened?
We had a fridge in our RV that ran on propane, and an electrical connection went, and the RV caught on fire.
Chris had like 15 beers at the time. And
I was drunk out my ass, and somebody was like, "The tour bus is on fire," and I was like, "I don't care, we're not in a tour bus." And they were like, "Oh, the RV," and I was like, "Oh!" And our drummer was on it at the time, as well as our driver, so they almost died.
Nice.
Yeah.
Which tour was this for?
The
Pigface
tour.
Okay. Anything else unusual happen, like when you were playing or anything?
We've actually had, not really when we played, but we've had a lot of like weird fire instances. Because I remember a tour that we did, I think when we were about to go on tour with Bile, we were on our way to the first show, and it was like 4 o'clock in the morning, which is when we normally drive, and there was this glow in the distance when we were driving. We were on this little 2-lane highway, like very small, no shoulders, and there's this glow in the distance, and as we got closer we realized it was a semi-truck that was on fire, and the flames were so big they were actually shooting across both lanes of the highway. So I came to a complete stop, and I was like, oh, I don't want to pass it, we're gonna blow up. And just then this semi, I'm stopped in the middle of the highway, another semi blows past us like going 70 miles per hour. It's like and blowing its horn, sound effects. And so like, okay, we're either gonna sit in the highway, in the middle of the highway, and get hit by a truck, or we're gonna drive through the flame and blow up. So like, which do you want to try? And Chris is like, just fucking floor it. I was driving. He's like, just floor it. Go, go, go. So I was like, okay. And I mashed the gas all the way down, which means the RV goes. I'm like, come on, come on. And as we were driving through the flames, we actually could feel the heat of it, and we could feel the heat of the flames as we were driving through. It was really scary.
Wow.
But we lived to tell about it. So I don't know. We have all these weird fire things. As far as on stage, we've never really had anything too weird happen. I've almost gotten pulled off stage a couple of times. I've fallen off the stage a couple of times. So other than that, it's been pretty normal.
All right. How do you feel about the state of the music industry at the moment? Is that your comment?
I love it.
Do ya?
Yeah. It's everybody says, "Oh man, things are getting so bad," which is what they said 5 years ago, which is what they said 5 years before that. So I'm assuming it's really the same as it's always been. It really just sucks.
Yeah. Basically, if you want to be successful, you have to suck. because all the bands they sign are not good. But they have to like have the hit song, like the song, but it will suck because all the bands they sign do. Does that make sense? So I don't really understand, because like you gotta have, like they say, if you wanna make it big and get signed to a major label, you gotta have that one song, that hit song, that song that, you know, that radio song. But it, you know, I can't sit there and go, okay, I'm gonna write a bad song, you know, because that's what you'd have to do if you want, you know. I don't understand. I don't know how to do it. I don't get it. So yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is just the underground scene, just building that really strong, loyal support. Like, look at Mushroom Head; they're not even on a label right now, and they, you know, their fans are really, really, really supportive. And I think that's what you have to do. I think, you know, trying to make it major label route is just, you know, you might, but they'll release one song and then that'll be the end of you. So you may as well just try to develop that like very loyal underground scene, I guess, underground following.
So do you think the underground scene is doing decently then?
You know, the metal underground scene seems to be doing really well. The industrial underground scene, there's pretty much only like 5 bands that are doing well, which is like Ministry, Skinny Puppy, who toured like 18 times last year, KMFDM, Big Vase. You know, I know Metropolis has a couple of bands that are doing well, but other than that, you know, for this scene, you know, it's just very limiting. But as far as the metal scene goes, it seems like there were, you know, tons and tons and tons of bands are always, you know, coming about and doing well. And so I think there's some hope for that scene, I think.
Okay. Would you feel you fit more into the industrial or the metal scene?
Who, us?
Yeah.
Oh, it lies the problem.
Well, we've been trying to go for more of the metal scene.
Yeah, I mean, our sound has definitely transformed over the years. Our first album was very goth. Our second album was more industrial. This one is a little bit more organic and a little bit more of a metal feel. So it's kind of, you know, we kind of like just taken all the scenes and kind of meshed them together. But I think that we appeal to people in all different scenes.
Okay.
But that's what we try to do anyway. I don't know if it's working, but that's what we're trying to do.
What would you say the worst aspect of the music industry right now is?
All of it.
All the labels are too afraid to spend money on any band that they don't think is instantly going to make them a ton of money. And if they are willing to give you money, they don't give you very much.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's true.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't want to develop a band. They don't want to take chances. Like, they really, you know, if you've already been successful on your own, then they'll pick you up, you know, by being successful. That means if you sold 250,000 CDs on your own, you know, then they'll sign you. But they don't want to take chances on baby bands or new bands, it seems to be.
Okay, what would you say are the good aspects of it?
Of the music industry? I guess that's what I said, like the underground scene.
The underground?
It's so great.
Huh?
I said it's so great, the underground scene.
Well, this tour has been good so far. It seems like the younger people are more supportive than the older one. Like the Pigface tour was all like, you know, 28 and up crowd, and they don't seem to be as supportive. But the younger kids, they're all about it, and they love being like the first one of all their friends to discover a band. You know?
Right.
So.
Well, if there was one thing you could change about the industry, what would it be?
Less corporate. Make it less corporate. I mean, I would change that about the whole world, actually, but that applies definitely to the music industry, to make it less corporate. I mean, every radio station is owned by Clear Channel. You know, it's just all a monopoly. You know, all the labels, you know, there used to be, I remember 10 years ago, there were so many different labels to choose from. Now there's like 2, you know?
Right.
So that's the main problem, I think.
How do you feel about like music television, things like that, MTV? Fuse?
It's non-existent. I mean, I know that, I guess Fuse, which I don't have anymore, but I used to watch Fuse, and I know, play way more music videos, but it's always like, you know, they've got like 20 that they pick from, and it's mainly hip-hop and R&B type stuff anyway, but, you know, MTV, they only have shows, as everybody knows, and VH1 is kind of that way too, so, you know, it's like, again, it would be really nice if there was like a non-corporate, you know, music channel that played stuff that, you know, that's not top 40.
Do you have a music video done or no?
No, you know, we were actually saying that we need to come up with it. We need to make a DVD, and we've got a lot of like backstage footage, and we have a lot of live footage, and we would like to put it all together and come up with a video for one song and release a DVD. So maybe within the next 12 months that will happen.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. So you have 3 albums out.
Yes.
And you just released a new one how long ago?
In April. Is that when it came out? April. Yeah. So 3 months ago.
Hey, how's that been doing?
Good, actually. We've been receiving a lot of positive, favorable reviews in the press, and the feedback we've been getting from our fans has also been very positive. So I've been very pleased with the responses we've been getting.
Okay. If the band was to end tomorrow, would you say that everything you've done so far has been worth it?
It's been grueling. I will say that it's been very grueling. But yeah, I mean, if I had a choice of doing all this all over again versus not, I would probably very begrudgingly say I would do it all over again.
What about you guys?
Well, the music industry is really rough, and especially when you're in like smaller scenes like the metal or industrial scenes, stuff like that. There's not as much support, there's not as much money, and you kind of have to bust your ass harder. And I think if you were like in a punk band right now or something like that, because there's so much more attention to that type of music, So I would still do it.
Still do it?
Yeah.
And you?
Yeah, I'd still do it. When I'm on tour, I hate it, but when I get home, I'm so bored that I can't wait to go on the next tour. So.
What do you want people to take away when they listen to your music? What do you want them to walk away with?
A T-shirt.
I think my only thing is I just know when I was younger and there'd be a band that I was just in love with, and every time I would put in their CD, it would like give me chills. Like, wow, this is the coolest thing I've ever heard, and I just loved listening to that song or that band or whatever. That is, I would think it'd be really cool if we could give other people that feeling that I feel when I listen to the bands that I just really, 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 really like. I think that's kind of what I hope that we could give to people who listen to it. That same feeling.
Okay, cool. Who writes the lyrics? Combination of you and Chris?
Yeah, it's weird because we're the only band that I know of that works this way. But basically, we don't write together. We write together separately. Like, he writes his songs, and when he writes his songs, he does all the music and all the lyrics. And and same with me. When I write my songs, I write all the parts. I write all the lyrics. I do everything. So, but we definitely have the same influences, and we share the same political and social ideas, and so that makes it so that it works.
Okay, what would you say influences on your songwriting are?
Musically or?
Well, either one. Whatever influenced you the strongest.
Well, as far as lyrically, we have influences come from all over the place. Just life, politics, just social issues, all kinds of stuff. As far as musically goes, I've been influenced by, I would say, well, my two favorite bands when I was growing up was The Cure and 9 Inch Nails. And I know that Chris really likes, like Skinny Puppy, Ministry, and stuff like that too. So, Rodney, who are your influences?
Oh, I don't know. I got into a lot of techno and electronic music early on, and other than that, just like metal, death metal.
Yeah.
Okay. What about lyrical inspiration for you?
Just whatever makes me mad at the time.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Which this album was her.
Yeah, exactly.
All the songs are about her.
Yeah. They're either about me or George Bush.
I guess that's a good wealth of information with the president, huh?
Yeah, interesting combination. Yeah.
Okay, is there anything else people should know about the band?
Yeah, the only other thing that I like to bring to people's attention is we're very we very much promote animal rights, human rights, environmental issues, and there's so much subject matter on all of those issues online, and I just encourage people to, I'm a big animal lover, and of course with everything going on in the world right now, we're very concerned about people across the globe, and I just like to encourage people to go online and start typing in, some of the websites like human rights organizations websites, animal rights organizations websites. Just do research and educate yourself, and don't be apathetic. Try to care more about things and paying bills and going to the club and what am I going to wear tonight and shit like that. Be more concerned about bigger issues. I try to encourage people to do that. So that would be one thing I would like to add.
Okay, and there are a lot of links off your website, right?
There are a lot of links. In fact, we have a whole message about it that's a lot more involved than what I just said. If you go to the Nocturne.cc website, you can. That's a good place to start as far as beginning to educate yourself about these issues if you're not already educated about them.
Okay, and how do you think the internet has hurt or helped you?
Oh, I think it helps all bands, definitely. It was so, before the internet was so popular, it was really hard to get your your name out. Maybe locally you could, but it's on a national level it was much more difficult. So it definitely helps all bands, I think, especially at our level, to get the word out. Especially websites like MySpace are really great.
Have you used MySpace?
Oh yeah,
considerably?
we have a MySpace page. It's been very helpful, I think, in getting the word out. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Anything else you want to tell people? Any of you? Either of you?
I just wanted to point out that as our road guide Taff walked by just now, he made a point to touch both the girls, I think, on his way out.
I think I noticed that too.
He was like, oops.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else?
I think that's about it. I think that covers everything. Yeah, thank you very much for doing the interview with us.
Oh, well, thank you.